Hello everyone, I'm Deven from TRG Network. Welcome to a special campaign very dear to my heart for quite a few reasons, and that is Rieba Planeswalkers. For those of you who saw this on the main TRG channel, welcome back. As for New Blood, you're in for an interesting time. This is a D&D 5th edition campaign with a bit of hack and slash sprinkled in. Now, I say sprinkled in, but it'd be more like if you took the entire cap off the container of sprinkles and turned it upside down on your proverbial tabletop ice cream. But who doesn't love some sprinkles, right? Now, this will be level 11 with 3 players. Astro, Castor, FriendlyKobold, all with heroes in their own right, and a deep campaign worth of history to them respectively. In fact, one of the players' characters was in a previous campaign set in this very world, chronologically taking place before this one. We have 3 main arcs over the course of 25 episodes. Were streamed from December 2020 to September of 2021, and will be uploaded weekly here, starting now. So without further ado, I give you Rieba Planeswalkers, Episode 1, Dream Team. Just between you and me, it's the DM's first session, his first stream campaign. Let him subside. He's a little nervous. He's a little nervous. Alright. The year is 5921. 5,201 years ago, Abir's Horror was destroyed by those unknown to all but the gods. As the Feywild and Shadowfell melded together to make up for this absence of balance, the gods recreated the material plane in their image, forming Rieba. Previous denizens of the material plane that sought refuge on the other planes slowly returned. Over the centuries and millennia that have passed, and much more history made, life returned to normal for the mortals from the perspective of the gods, with knowledge of the material plane's destruction slowly waning out of history as time went on. However, the forces of the multiverse churned on all the same while the mortals' growth was stunted and reset, leading many deities, deific beings, and primordials alike looking to speed the mortals along. The tampering had been for better or worse, however, as Rieba is now very familiar with the wills of gods, and even goes so far as to actively work for or against them on a large scale. To some, there seems to be no greater plan in this existence, but many followers of the gods feel otherwise, and strive to further that proverbial greater goal. Many heroes and villains have arisen amongst both the gods and mortals, and the multiverse is nearing a great change because of it. Why will there be this great change, and what will come of it? And so, we start off in the continent of La Sana Sol. I'll move to the world map here. Let me scale out. La Sana Sol will be the entire landmass to the left here, as collection of countries. We'll be zooming in, however, to the country of Zedigari. Panning in on a sizable city that is being partially reconstructed on the northern side. The architecture resembles a very classic, homey vibe, being wooden and soft in its main themes. The streets are rich with merchants in this settlement well known for its commerce, many of which are imposing on the passerby civilians. This is Gallus, the capital of the country Zegadi. Yeah, we'll move into the lower travelers district of this town, where there's a small marketplace near the eastern entrance of the city. Within it, many adventurers are seen wandering about. The people filling the street are of many different races, such as dwarves, elves, dragonborns, orcs, and so on. However, we focus in on one particular tiefling sauntering about, blending in despite being so out of place. Castor, would you care to describe Cassius' appearance?
He is a very plainly dressed tiefling man. Fairly good looking, but not necessarily shy about having worked hard for what he has. He carries on his back a very plain long sword, and in the wind blows luscious blue hair.
Yeah, so you're wondering about this particular marketplace because it's quite the room, Will. Your cup of tea. listening to some passerby adventurers more often than not provides interesting tales and secrets. So, how are you looking to go about your eavesdrop?
I'm just going to kind of slowly walk around, kind of keeping an ear out for anything that might seem a bit hush-hush. Looking for somebody saying some stuff along the lines of, hey, keep it down, stuff like that.
Ah, I see. Okay, if that's the case, go ahead and roll in perception check.
Oh boy, not my best. 13.
All right, 13. Yeah, it's definitely a busy day in the street. You probably got out of bed a little bit late, so you're at that point where everyone's out and about. However, you do catch up on a pair of dwarves as they're walking by. They really seem to be keeping close to one another, and you do catch something or other about guards keeping a hush on a robbery that was very low scale in the suburban district. And as you're kind of trying to keep your ear close to them, you turn around and standing right by you, a little too close for your comfort, is a tall, green-eyed Triton woman in monstrous-looking armor with a deadpan stare with her very beady fish-like eyes.
Well, hey there, lass. You startled me there for a minute.
Apologies.
What can I help you with?
I might have business with you. Is your name Cassius Gafgarion?
Why, I'm afraid it is, but what could you possibly want with little old me?
Well, word of your great doings have passed along the lands. Apologies, my common is not the greatest. You see, I am not of the land. It seems that the higher-ups in the country of Morbin have heard of your great deeds and would like your services. It is a great task, however.
Why don't you and I find a place to sit down and have a drink? Busy street probably isn't the best to talk about this, yeah?
Yes, but please no advances. I am taken. She's been very awkward up until this moment, but she seemed a little too confident saying that.
He's gonna look with a bit of a smirk, and he's gonna say, that's a damn shame. We should still sit down and have that drink, though.
Absolutely. Preferably in a private setting. Do you know the area?
Oh, I'm sure I could find a place. And so, he's gonna just kind of recall prowling around looking for, a good place to just sit and have a chat. Maybe get a nice drink or two. And given the fact that he's kind of been prowling around here for a little while, I would imagine he's probably at least been to a bar or two to kind of catch up on rumors.
Yes, in the area, you know of actually a few taverns, one of which is not very active at the moment because it's midday, so it's an ideal spot to have a meeting like this.
And he is going to guide her over there.
Alrighty. You guys take about 10 minutes or so of passing through, keeping that deadpan stare the whole time as you guys are traveling. You're definitely catching a few eyes, a Trident and a Tiefling passing through this very dry land. You guys soon arrive at the tavern, just like a little corner Rosie's or something. And you guys make your way in. You guys probably catch the most furthest corner table.
So Cassius, he's going to walk in. He's going to kind of wave to whoever happens to be working behind the bar. It's just a kind hello. Walk over to the table. He's going to pull out a chair, sit down, and he feels really comfortable. He's definitely not trying to feel out of place.
Oh, no worries. You picked the right place. Going in is actually a dragonborn bartender, which is a little out of place because Zedgadi has had issues with Mindafal in recent years, which is the land of dragons and dragonborn and the like. So they're often looked at with contempt in this country. specifically because of recent attacks. In fact, the repairs that are being done to the city are because of a relatively recent attack from Mindafar. And so, when you come in, the bartender greeted you as you waved a hi. But otherwise, just kind of kept about their business. They were gonna let, if you guys just went over to sit at the table, they weren't really gonna pester you.
So tell me, Lannis. You say you need me particularly. Are you sent here to look for me by name, or are you sent here to look for me by title?
I suppose both. When you took out the creature trafficking ring in the underbelly of this very city, news of it rippled throughout the lands, and those in Dargan, which is the capital of Morben, who look out for information like that, kept it on tab should the need of said heroes arose. And certainly one did. And this need is a rescue mission. You see.
He's gonna give her like a half-cocked smile and say, well, it's good you're not here for revenge. It'd probably be good if I got out of this town sooner or later.
Oh yes, you will be needed to go to Morben to be explained the extent of your mission in further detail than I have to offer you. However, the details I do have to offer you are this. This mission is an outer planar rescue mission. You will be led by a guide who is knowledgeable of the plane you will be taken to, which is Avernus, the first of the 9 hells. I do apologize for the irony, based on your descent.
Now, bear in mind, Cassius doesn't know his descent.
No, not direct, but it's just saying a tiefling in the 9 hells. Not so much saying the more direct association.
Well, believe me, none taken. No offense taken at all. I've been told to go to hell more than once.
Well, now may be an opportunity for a visit. I will state that this mission offers 9,000 platinum pieces in Morben currency, a ring of fire of resistance, may you need it, and allies in the form of other national adventurers and heroes that are being collected for this mission in the same manner that you are. Also, the escort through the 9 hells mentioned prior, and you will be taken to and from via astral projection by the very Archmage who is requesting you for this mission.
Apologies if my reaction seems a bit subdued, I assure you it's not. But that seems a bit beyond me. I'm just a simple bandit hunter. I mean, I'll admit I have a distaste of abductions and trafficking, but you sought me out. But for a price like that, can't exactly say no, can I? Tell you what, I won't agree to it yet, but I will agree to hear it out.
So you will come with me to Morben? And me,
Sure.
Archmage, me or more himself?
I can't say I quite like fancy dues, but it'll be a good experience. Chance to get out, and who knows, I might learn a thing or two. Besides, who can really resist the opportunity when told to go to hell? Been there once, didn't like it.
This is like a full, wide-teeth smile. It's like, oh, then you have experience. Almost as if like this made their job much easier. It's like, very well, when will you be looking to depart? We can head to the bay, and we can take a ferry to Morben. It would be roughly 1 week's travel.
I've mostly just been prowling around looking to see what I could find for work, but I'm really ready to depart at any time.
Very well. We shall gather your belongings and be on our way.
Well, way ahead of you on that one. I don't have any belongings to gather.
That is convenient. Straight face says that as she just stands up from the chair and starts leading out of the tavern.
He will follow.
Alrighty. Then you guys will take a nice stroll, probably a silent one, if you aren't trying to provoke conversation, towards the eastern. That's where, yes, I just looked at the map, I'm being dumb. Yes, to the eastern exit of the city, and from there you're going to catch a ferry to the bay. It will probably take the rest of the day to do so, but it's paid for in full by the Triton, who is in this very, again, monstrous-like armor. I will say is like a very blue, rockish-like hide armor. It's a full plate encompassing them. It's very bulky as well, providing more defense than most heavy armors would, almost to an unnecessary extent. She's probably like average sized, but the armor makes her look huge. And so you guys catch your ferry and you'll be on your way. From there, we're going to move south across the border to a southwestern Radazard. Here on the map, it'll be the Forest of Hills. I'm not sure if the rest of you guys are scaled out wide enough, but I'll ping it a few times.
I see it.
Yes, as we move over to our next player, FriendlyKobold.
No boy, it me.
Yes, let us set the scene as I close that out really quick. Many trees spanning hundreds upon hundreds of feet into the air, with trunk girth to match. This forest appropriately holds many giant creatures in its loose trees. This leads us to our current situation. Roughly half a dozen hill giants traveling through what seems to be a makeshift path. As they're traveling, 1 second, I must have changed the tune. As they're traveling, one will step on a landmine of sorts, blowing out its foot, and leading it to fall into the next giant behind it, tumbling them both to the ground. At this point, a human-like voice will yell something in Orcish, and the onslaught begins. At varying heights within the trees above them, several orcs and humans will fire off multitudes of arrows down upon the two prone giants. Out of the 4 giants still standing, the 2 in front spectate the giants getting pelted with arrows, and the source of the arrows respectively. The 2 in the back, however, begin to back up in nervousness. Just as one most behind goes to turn back, they'll trip over a rope extended between the true trees adjacent to said giant. The humans and orc holding the rope quickly move onto the standing giants as those 2 rear giants tumble, and much more physically capable humans, orcs, and half-orcs break out from the tree lines and slaughter the tripped giants in moments. The ones with the rope who have made it to the standing giants use it to lasso the club wielded by said giant and disarm it. A second wave of arrows flood down on the giants. Only the armed one remains alive, able to somewhat shield its head and neck from the arrows with its club. A single human drops down onto the giant's head just as it feels it's safe, catching themselves in its hair, and carves vertically down the back of its neck for a decisive kill. And they ride the giant's corpse to the ground as it plops, and this large clan lets out a victory roar that echoes throughout the forest. In Orcish, the human who looks very gruff and primal with unkempt, matted hair and long beard, donning hide armor and a belt of giant strength, as well as a greatsword that they just slayed this giant with, they yell, in Orcish, they yell, "Now, welcome our leader to only a sight he is worthy of seeing." And Kobold, this is where your character will enter if you would like to describe them.
Tactfully and calmly, a half-orc exits the brush of this forest. Stark white hair, lush green skin, and lavender eyes gaze upon the fallen giant's knives strewn about him and tally marks upon his arm. He smiles, tusks, pearly white and well taken care of. He looks at the work that his clan has done, and he holds up a hand. Brothers and sisters, this is efficiency. We are the Storm's Eye, and we strike as fast as lightning, but we are twice as lethal.
They all wait for a moment in case you were going to say anything else, and then let out a guttural roar in victory.
He points to a couple of them. You, follow their tracks, see if you can find their den. If they have anything valuable they've stolen from caravans, we can apprehend that. Use it for our own. The rest of you, chop them up into pieces. They'll either make good meat or decent spell components for wizards in an academy to sell at a high price.
The ones that you command to hunt the den bang their chests a few times and then immediately go sprinting down the way where they came from. And the rest all nod and bang their chests respectively and move on with your orders. Just as the noise is dying down, though, you're hearing a ruffling to your left. A few orcs will actually have just stopped to catch wind of it themselves, and they'll start rushing over, and you'll see a group of them like there's a scuffle or something.
He turns and walks forward.
Sir! You're hearing an orcish as they pull themselves kind of back as they're pinning this elven individual back by both of his arms, pushing his chest forward with their knee to his back and pulling his jaw back while he's in a seated position, almost trying to restrain him in what is very heavy, monstrous-looking armor in a deep bluish, rocky hide. It's almost too bulky for its own sake, and it's working to its advantage. However, I will say, roll just another perception check.
Fun. I'm very good at that.
Oh, lovely. This is lovely. Oh, I should probably go to the actual chat on the thing.
Let's see. That is going to be a 24 perception.
Ooh, okay, you can very clearly tell that this person is not resisting. They're not saying anything. They're almost allowing themselves to just be broken because of the positions that they're being forced into by the 4 orcs and 1 human that are on top of them.
He smiles. Let him go.
They look up in confusion, but then immediately all in unison let go as he falls asleep. He's like, so you can tell, he says in Giant.
He speaks back in Giant. What is your business?
I am here for you, Storm's Eye. And he spreads his arms wide while still laying prone on the ground. May I stand? Pupil. I was going to state this outright because you're a pretty smart dude. By pupil, he was referring to the center of an eye.
I see. Well.
Yeah, even the orcs around you are confused, like, pupil, is he his teacher? No.
He looks to him, and he says, what is your business? If you have nothing of worth, then I'll simply have my people dispose of you.
I do apologize. My name is Ivar Paibai. I am an elf of Neilima Heimau, which is a guild that services the country of Morben in secrecy. And he'll, at this point, pull out a panel that has 2 badges, one of the Morben flag, and the other that is an official Adventurers Guild badge, which at this point, I will say every player in some way, shape, or form knows the Adventurers Guild and how that system works. You have a badge and such to confirm your identity and this and that. And that's what they're doing. I am here on behalf of Archmage Miramor of the High Council in Morben. Their child was kidnapped, and they wish to organize a high-quality team of heroes to seek out and recover their child safely. The child was kidnapped and taken to Avernus, the first layer of the 9 Hells.
I'm familiar.
At this point, a lot of the denizens, humans, orcs, half-orcs alike, are very confused and somewhat nervous at this as they've kind of backed up, allowing the room, and he's now stood up, not sensing the threat. And you see this elf is actually very tall, and despite how bulky their armor is, you can tell very fit. They easily outsize you. You have seldom seen an elf this large. And so they're definitely a physical specimen. They could have easily taken on the few orcs that were pinning them down, but they were being peaceful on purpose.
So my reputation precedes me, and even the rich in their comfy chairs and arcane towers speak of my efforts.
Oh yes, slaying an Arcanoloth is truly a feat that most Archmage themselves could not conquer, and you are known for doing so. All across Radazard, and it has even crossed the sea to the continent of Bahanel, where Morben resides.
I see. So in their ivory towers they wish to grace me with their presence.
It is quite an intense task to take on, and we do understand the boldness that it requires to request such a task of you, having no connections to you. You being in this far-off corner of this country that is not aligned to our own.
I don't care for politics, countries. This is all that matters. Efficiency and survival. So, the survival of this child is what they are concerned with? Allow me to ask you, if this Archmage has earned such a prestigious title, why does he not claim the child for himself?
It is their child, and they will be taking those who will be completing the mission to and from through astral projection. But he is not suited for battle. He has always been more of a supplemental spellcaster. He has provided many resources for the war-torn country of Morben. So he is a great supplementary combatant, but he is also in the later years of his life, and has suffered several substantial injuries.
Enough. I've heard everything I need to know about this individual. Now then, what is in it for me and my clan, should I accept this offer?
We offer you 9,000 platinum pieces in Morben currency, a ring of fire resistance as a gift upon their departure, one to keep even after the task is completed. The Archmage themselves will be taking you to the plane via astral projection, and you will be provided a private guide who will act for you personally while in the plane, as to not get lost or fall astray. The plane is extremely dangerous, and it is very easy to succumb to it in the worst way imaginable. And so,
Rose, and you've got yourself a deal.
His eyes go wide as he's being cut off. And at this point, some of the orcs are getting a little closer and slightly more aggressive, being frustrated that he's constantly putting you in a position of having to cut him off.
My friend, while I appreciate your stature and your willingness to be peaceful and cooperative, I don't much like the run-on sentences. I only need to know a few more things.
Well,
How many others will be accompanying me on this excursion to Avernus?
we are not entirely certain yet. I have not received reports from my comrades, but we do look to have at least a team of 3. It is, in many ways, better being a smaller unit moving into the lands of Avernus, as it is very much plagued with strategic and tactful devils. Ones that will be
I'm very familiar with devils and their various tactics. If that's everything... Boys! He just looks to the others.
They stand at attention. All right, I think it's time for you to go. It says in very rough common to the elf.
I'll meet with you in 2 days. I'll find you myself.
Very well. I will be in the Iron Peninsula. That is where we'll sail to Morben. And he walks away as the orcs are very close behind him, intentionally trying to make him uncomfortable on his way out.
He smiles.
He eventually
I
gets up
didn't
on
think
horse.
this would going to be anything. In fact, I normally don't thank the gods, but today is a special day. Boys, the grog, the whiskey. Tonight we celebrate.
A large outburst of roars wide across.
The storm has been cold. And he is going to tell them all to gather and to begin preparations.
Alrighty, and so they will move out at your word. And you get prepared. Of course, 2 days' time will have passed, and you will have gotten your collections together proper and moved across the country smoothly, avoiding many of the troubles along the way.
So as he's going, he's just, now remember, boys, he's gonna be like a dad to these orcs. Remember, boys, if you've got a problem, arm wrestle. Don't kill each other. Either drinking contests, quartz parchment shears, or an arm wrestling contest. Those are the 3 ways we settle shit.
The really gruff human, Buck is his name. He's probably one of the higher ups in the Storm's Eye, defined very much by his killing ability and his leading capabilities in your stead. As you saw, that entire slaying of the giants was essentially demonstrating to you the efficiency that you all have been working towards. So I guess you could probably say your second or third in command. So he along one other orc, like, well, sir, certainly, sir, you will allow us to accompany you all the way to Morben. Perhaps not to the hills. Oh.
I see no reason not to. This is a job worth my time. If we can get that money, I can equip us better. Hell, we could probably hire a few dwarves to build us a base. Something nice.
Oh, yes. Fantastic idea, sir.
9,000 platinum. I don't know if any of my past lives have ever held that much gold in their hands.
Yes, sir. And it is interesting that he said Morben currency, because here in Radazard, currency is inflated, more so than anywhere else on the plane. So, I will have to make sure to have the currency exchanged to Radazard, so that way we will get a proper amount. 9,000 platinum is not all that much in Radazard.
Which is why we're going to be spending it overseas. It'll be cheaper to ship things over here after we're done. Besides, I've never been one for politics, but when you can avoid them and their stupid laws, the easier it gets.
Almost correct, sir.
The benefit of the clan is what's most important at this moment in time. You all are perfect to be able to take over my position while I'm gone. And once I've acquired the funds and completed this task, our family shall be greater than ever.
So, straight up.
No kingdom would dare cross us.
Yes, even the capital would never dare tread our lands.
He picks up a flower and he smiles. If they get in our way, we snuff them out like the rest. And the flower withers in his hands.
And it's just a very menacing, slow nod from Buck.
Now then, let's move.
Yes. You guys are coming in on the Iron Peninsula, and then we'll soon come on to this private ferry docked at a very lone, isolated pier, and you will sail, possibly for your first time, I don't know. At least first time this lifetime. But yes, and from there we will move back up north to Mindafal, the land of dragons, specifically to the western coast, the midwestern coast, just below the Black Dragon Swamp. Here, we'll be picking up on a very large battleship headed by 3 elves docking on the land and exiting off to the adulation of the elven trio and other elves on this ship. You will see a half-wooden elf in oakwood armor leading off, and behind him you will see a very strange creature, a Minotaur Centaur hybrid creature, otherwise known as a Gallataur, leading off behind him. In the fully oak armor, the armor almost glistens in the sunlight despite it being wood. And very unkempt is this elf. Mainly through the beard and hair, you can tell it was once stylized but grew out to obnoxious lengths, at least by his own standards. And behind him, Astro, would you like to explain Krantor's appearance?
Yes. Krantor is a rather large Gallataur, like you said, 7'4", about 8 feet long. Yeah, the absolute lad. He's got black fur, and he wears gold scale dragon armor. Massive, massive two-handed axe for the bull man.
Large axe for the bull man. We literally said it. It's the Battle Ox Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It basically is.
Ox Raider!
That's the one.
But yes, Krantor, it has been a few days now, but you just had your first trip through the astral plane yourself on that ship, which is apparently tuned to travel through it. And yes, you will be let off, and you guys, almost silently, knowing what you're doing, will be traveling into the Mythos planes. Knowing that you're looking for your tribe. Now, so tell me, do they have a pattern that they travel across the plane with?
The seasons and the availability of hunting game. It has been harder and harder to find safe places for our people.
I see. Yes. Well, at least what I found out on the boat for some of the elves was that it is now the fall. Late fall, I might add. As you can see, some of the trees over there seem to have a little color on them. You can see the trees to your distant north, like scattered about. You can see some color on them. When we left, it was summer.
They stick to the mountains, but in the winter and fall, they tend to make their way towards warmer lands.
I see, so they may be coming south.
Would be the best bet.
Alright, then I will follow your lead for this one. Now, like says, he's just kind of got his hand on his sword, trying to look as composed as he can, but he's very much out of it. The material plane feels different to you after all the time that you both spent on Celestia. Almost feels bland.
Like a different kind of gravity.
I'm sorry, one more time?
I was worried about it feeling heavier, like a different kind of gravity element to it.
No, it has the same kind of gravity. However, the sunlight, it feels like dry. It's strange. The sunlight, or at least in the layers of Celestia that you were on that had sunlight, was very vibrant and instilled you with much giddiness. In fact, you do remember on Mercuria that you were the most talkative you've ever been in your entire life. And that came to you very naturally. It was just the giddiness the plane instilled in you, and even the natural beauty of Lunia, which is the first layer, it really drove your adrenaline. So it kind of feels boring in comparison.
Grunt and and you still have the notes of what we experienced on the plains on Celestia.
Oh yes, no, that's exactly what the majority of your trip through the second layer was. Your giddiness and talkativity was taken advantage of. I don't know if talkativity is a word, it's a word now. It was taken advantage of to take all of those notes in as great a detail as you did, including the meeting of the first king of Mindafall. So, you guys do what you guys do best. Walk.
Krantor would cast Locate Object, actually.
Ah?
And he's going to try and locate the special necklace that Asbolus, the seer, wears to denote his status. He's going to try and find that.
Oh, okay.
Too specific to do.
No, but I believe locate object. Could you drop it in chat? Oh, I will put that out there as well. Anybody who uses a spell, make sure to drop it in chat for easy access and for viewer convenience. Okay, there we go. Locate object. Dab. He's dabbing on him. Oh man, he's dabbing in the silence. Oh man, he bombed your scene. What are you gonna? You gotta beat up Kobold now, Astro. Square up.
Fight.
The locate, you activate locate object is within 1,000 feet of you. Alright, yeah, so for the 10 minutes, you wander about trying to find it. Unfortunately, it is at no point in that 10 minutes within 1,000 feet of you, so you do not detect it. It's unfortunate, yes. And I will also say, with the distance that you can see across the plane, oh my gosh, Kobold. Leave him alone.
You did one.
Oh Oh, fuck society. Oh, look at this rebel. Look at this rebel Arudim. Alright, so Krantor, I will say that you can actually see farther than 1,000 feet. You can see several miles down the way because of how clear and flat the Mythos plains are.
Do I see any sign of their, like, camps or anything?
I will say in the distance, there will be a few vultures, giant vultures in fact, circling about a campsite where there are a couple of rotted carcasses of animals that were likely used as rations, but probably not for the tribe.
Perception check to see if there, or investigation to see if there's any kind of tracks or any kind of
Yes.
so they would be there for?
Yeah, once you've approached, you can roll an investigation to like check out this campsite. I will say with advantage because Nalik will be helping you.
Second. A 15.
15, solid. All right, yes, make sure to answer. Okay, thank you. And yes, you can tell that this was a centaur's campsite, actually. Because you know that the Mythos Plains is also home to a tribe of centaur, one that you've been at odds with the Mythos Gallataur in the past, but they haven't always been hostile towards each other, especially in the light of the increase of red dragon worms. And not too far from where the campfire is, you can see there are some burn marks. It is possible that they had an encounter with some of those very wormlings.
Great. I grabbed Nalik and
One more time?
just grunt at him, and I said I was just gonna grab Nalik and tell him, grunt at him, not tell, that we should go and we should move on.
Very well.
Dragons come back here, looking for more snacks.
Ah, yes, red dragon wormlings. Is that what your previous armor was made of?
I thought a ancient red dragon, or not? Was it an ancient or a great red dragon? I can't remember.
The one that you slayed? The one that you had slain?
Yeah.
Yes, Itzy. No, he was actually a young red dragon. On the verge of adulthood.
Then I will leave off any kind of determination, just say it was a red dragon, yes. He doesn't need to know it was young.
Yeah, exactly. Just see. Wow, that is masterful. Small.
Just myself and a terrible demigod.
What was the dragon's title?
The Great Thunder, I believe?
I believe it was Itzy the Champion of Red.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Itzy the Champion of Red.
And you punked his bitch ass out. No, when I tell you... Guys, just try and think of the most humiliating way you could slay a red dragon. I guarantee you Krantor did it better. And for their name to be Itzy, the Champion of Red. X to doubt, he said. This motherfucker. Alright, let's get back on track. So you guys ultimately resign to your frustrations and continue deeper into the Mythos plane. And after about a day and a half, so I'll pass on saying that. Streams after dark. You guys are killing me. Oh, this is great. So you continue on for about a day and a half, and eventually, on the horizon, you're going to see a mass of brown Gallataur, light tan and brown Gallataur, indicating your tribe. And just on the horizon, are those your people? You have a different fur color than them. Were you adopted by their tribe?
My mother was from a different tribe.
Ah,
she
I
married
see.
into it to preserve the bloodlines.
Oh, that is wonderful. It's good to know that there are multiple tribes of the Gallataur. I thought that they were very rare.
Yeah, but every half century or so, they meet up to a bit of an exchange, just to ensure that the bloodlines do not get too corrupted.
That's wonderful to know that you are all in such alignments, I suppose.
Or doubtfully at that.
You can tell Nalik is still kind of like it's like hard ass a bit, you know, especially now being on the material plane. He's almost feels like he needs to be a knight again. So he's like been overly formal with how he's spoken to you since you guys have returned, and he's been like he's been very poised and postured in the entire time of your presence, almost as if he's like attending to you.
I'm not against that idea, but
I'm not against that idea. He's simping for Krantor.
the minions. I don't want to say boy, because that's too Kratos-y.
No, not
So
right.
anyway, so Malik, you do not need to maintain such formality with me. We have seen through enough. We are companions now. You can accept formality, and my people do not stand on such. Anyway, however, be aware that it is a highly ritualized society where the religious leaders hold all the power, so let me do all the talking, which will be minimal. And again, and walk away.
Understood. I'm gotten so used to doing the talking, but you've definitely found your voice recently, so it'll be interesting to see you communicate with your people. And so,
Yeah,
you guys...
homecoming.
I'm sorry?
Homecoming.
And so you guys will continue towards the group, and you'll notice as you approach the tribe from behind them that there is a lone Gallataur to be walking a few hundred feet behind the closest line of Gallataur tribe members. As you get closer, you notice that their hide is considerably burned and that their tail is merely a nub at this point. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
It's 21.
21? Okay, yes. 21. You can tell, even from this distance and how different they look, that this is Therius, your former friend and the former tribal chief.
Solemnly hail him. Hold up his arm in greeting to him so he knows that he can see me. But he won't do so with any kind of malice. He's still not 100% sure where he stands with Therius after, soundly beating him and humiliating him in front of everyone. So,
as you approach Therius, you'll kneel in respect on both forelegs and go, "Blessed be your return, son of Stormbreaker, Krantor, the honorary tribal chief." I mean, you can already tell by the way he addresses you that this is not the Therius you remember. He'll have lost a horn and, like I said, most of his tail. And and after saying this out loud, almost boisterously, you'll notice some of the closest members of the Gallataur will stop to notice him speaking, and then they'll quickly start grabbing the attention of the other Gallataur as their attention comes to you. And hold on, I'm gonna try and find a better song. Nah. That works. And so, slowly but surely, the entire tribe will start to motion towards you. They'll have turned back around to come towards both you and Nalik. Some of the inner Gallataur, the ones that are not meant for battle, but the ones the caretakers of the tribe, will come over to Nalik and immediately start offering water. The elders, Absolus, Nessus, and Orias all approach and kneel before you and welcome you back. And they will, yes, in unison, welcome back, Avenger of the Mythos.
A second and survey them. To Therius, pull him up by the arm. Say, Therius, what has happened here? What has transpired in my absence? People.
He goes to speak, and Nessus will immediately cut him off. Nessus is a Gallataur slightly larger than Krantor, the only one in the surrounding 5 that is close to Krantor size, and he is draped with, I suppose, a body-shaped cloth that is to represent his status as an elder. There are several glyphs in Sylvan written across it. I will say similar attire is worn by Absolus and Orias, but with slightly different glyphs, likely with their names on each glyph. And we will say Nessus is actually not bald, but he does not have any hairstyle, like most of the Gallataur do. As soon as Therius speaks up, he will immediately be cut off by Nessus, saying, Therius has attempted to try and win back favor of the tribe by standing foolishly to a pack of red dragon wormlings sent to attack the Mythos Gallataur. Of course, no such deed is going to earn his favor after he attempted to besmirch the Trial of the Horn. And you notice this is a different tune being played by Nessus, because Nessus has always been one of the biggest supporters of Therius.
Stare at Nessus, won't acknowledge him, and then look at Therius and ask him if this is true. In your own words, tell me what has happened.
Nessus is irked at this, and Therius looks around. I'm sorry?
I don't care!
He looks around slowly and starts to speak. Well, yes, it is true. The tribe was attacked, and many attempted to stay behind and fight him off, while those who could not defend themselves retreated, and I vowed to stay along with them, even when most of the warriors who had not already been slain fled. And as a result, I was nearly killed. A good game of playing dead, though, and they let me be in favor of trying to pursue the tribe, whom once I caught back up with a few days later, realized they did not catch back up with them. I simply have been just trying to tend to the tribe the best I can, because they remain untrusting of me, and they did not heal me. And they will not forget my neglect. They shouldn't. I've taken it all in stride, and even kept my distance from the tribe, out of respect for those who are not comfortable with my presence any longer. I've even been hunting for my own food, and food for those who could not, though it was seen as extra, and it was not taken, if it wasn't needed. And there, Therius kind of falls into silence. And Orias will then speak up, kind of looking back and forth between...
Krantor's gonna stop him.
Okay.
Crantor will grunt loudly, full bull snort, and say, "Allow me to understand. I have been avenging our people and looking to slay the demigod who has caused us so much pain and heartache. My appointed representative that I have left myself was defending the weak and the helpless and allowing them to escape, and got hurt in the process, and as such has been exiled. This is shameful. Nessus, Aureus, Asvelus. A brother, regardless of what he has done in the past, is shameful. You bring shame on all of us."
Yeah. Absolus stands unreactive, as is like him to do. And Darius bows his head in shame. And Nexus looks with irritation, but also bows his head in shame. And you can tell it's more so just doing it like he has to, not because he actually feels shame.
Yeah. You can take an Asvelus and just say, "Why?"
Well, actually, he sits silent for a moment. You cannot make those believe in someone whom they do not truly believe in. The tribe stands by Nike. And all that stands for her.
Okay.
Therius is still on his own personal path of redemption. And the people of our tribe must come to organically trust him once more. No amount of respect for a greater individual will translate into respect for Therius. You see, Nessus was getting he was clenching almost in fear the more Absolus spoke, because he seldom does. And kind of lets go of that tension once Absolus stops, almost like he didn't say what he was expecting him to say.
I understand. It is in the past. I am here now. And while I am here, none shall cross Therius. He is to be welcomed as my personal visitor, and will be treated with honor and dignity that his past and his standing as one of our tribe. Is that clear?
Crystal.
Challenge me.
There is silence from the rest of the tribe.
Well?
No. We do not challenge you. We will treat Therius with respect, says Nessus with grit in his teeth. At this point, I want you to roll me a perception check, probably because you've glanced out across the tribe at this point.
That will be a 15.
15. Alrighty, good on you. Okay, Sharklo, I believe was her name?
Flow.
Shariklo. Shariklo. Okay, Shariklo. Yes, Shariklo. You notice Shariklo subtly trying to get your attention without anyone else being privy to it.
For a split second, and we'll say, then we'll speak no more of it now. In the meantime, prepare a feast. I have returned. Yes.
You hear the warriors who are closest to this entire gathering because they line the perimeter of the tribe when they travel. They let out the roar because they're typically the ones who eat the most. So they're like, yeah! You hear some of them in Sylvan, tonight we eat like orcs, yeah! Because you guys have dealt with much more traditional orcs in the past, towards the edges of the plains. But yes, you guys
before.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, he'll say that extra food that Therius brought would come in handy.
Ah, yes, you're right. And then you heard the Avenger of the Mythos. Nessus says reluctantly as he speaks out constantly. Let us prepare the most bountiful of feasts.
We'll regale you with the stories of what we have seen in our journeys across the plains.
Yes, and it'll be this time when everyone's kind of like scattering about to gather. Chariclo is going to make her way towards you. But while looking around at the other tribe members, and she just gets up close to you, and like at this point, she's like, almost close enough to be whispering, and once again starts looking around at the tribe members to see who's looking at them. Oh, yes, who's looking at her. And
he'll just duck everyone else, especially the elders who are trying to talk to him, I'm sure, and just beeline it straight for her. And no one else even bothers. He's just not even talking to anyone else.
Alright, yeah. No, okay, yeah, you guys kind of like convene to try and chat as the group is scattering around you guys to gather more so in like a circle like formation, kind of like make a giant a giant fireplace. I don't know how to explain what I'm describing, but that's not
people.
That's honestly, yeah.
Kumbaya circle.
Yes. Kumbaya circle. There we go. Yes, and
There we go.
yeah, no, she tries to whisper. Listen to me, Krantor. She goes to speak and she's like, listen, I need to let you know, and she glances over once more and her eyes go wide, that I'm very happy that you have returned to the tribe. And then she just walks away from you, not looking back in your direction, instead glaring off to the side. Very bizarre interaction. She was trying so hard to get your attention subtly, and then finally caught eye of something and seemingly gave up on it. What was that?
On that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That would be a 24 insight.
24 insight. Oh yeah, no.
That plus 6 got a weapon.
Yeah, no. You. First off, we'll play it into the roll because you rolled so well. You blow it off. It looks like you blow it off as if it didn't matter all that much to you, but you very clearly could tell that Chariclo was trying to tell you something that Nessus, who just saw her over by you, was not supposed to know you were going to be informed of. In other words, Chariclo's got a secret Nessus doesn't want you to know, and she just noticed Nessus looking at her near you, and it's very clear that she doesn't want him to even consider the possibility of having conveyed this message to you.
Sand. Okay, well, I will. In that case, I will people later for that time and try to find a good time to see her later.
Alright, and alrighty, you go to move into position, and not too long after that, you're going to hear a call out. Excuse me, wondrous beasts. and many of your tribe's heads will turn in the direction I'll say to the west. To the east, opposite of the sunset. So the sun is glaring right on this person. It is a brass dragonborn in a monstrous blue rock-like hide armor. Extremely bulky, of course. He does a thunderclap, actually. He'll clap his hands together and will let out a thunderous boom about 300 feet across to gather all of the attention of the Gallataur, who weren't already looking. Like, excuse me, is there a chief or a representative I can speak to? Particularly the one that saved you all?
And that Krantor was just about to sit down on a log or something for like 1 second, and this happens the moment before his butt touches the ground.
That's not imagined yet. She's like, thunderclap. It's
More bullshit. Okay, back up, hand on the axe, grabbing the leak, just out to meet him, wordlessly, war face on.
Roll me a perception check really quick, just for funsies.
That's a 19 on that one, so 21.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, you definitely see it. You see Nessus was just starting to get up at the same time as you did, but then sat immediately back down when he saw you were getting up.
Look.
Nessus is very...
How dare.
Right? Yes, exactly. So, yeah, listen. Oh, okay, nice to meet you. Hey, listen, so... I'm not from here, despite this being the land of dragons. I get this country is a little gimmicky, which is funny, seeing as you guys aren't draconian at all, right? Wow, oof. I didn't realize how nervous I was going to be. Well, you see, I'm here on behalf of this group. Oh man, what was their name? You see, I'm new to the group. He's very nervous, probably a very young Dragonborn. You can tell he's kind of smaller than some of the Dragonborn you've seen in armor. And his armor, and because his armor is extra bulky, it only looks he only makes him look that much smaller. Yes, my group's name is Ne Lima Heimu. They are a group acting in secrecy for the government of Morben, a country across the plain. He pulls out this panel that has 2 badges on it, one of the Adventurers Guild and one of a logo you can only assume is in reference to the country he just mentioned. He's like,
any concept of what the Adventurers Guild is?
Yes, because Krantor was with the previous party when they encountered a group of bandits that were actually members of the Adventurers Guild and saw similar badges when... Funny enough, the character, not the player, Castor, took them. Yes, for clarity, in another campaign in this very same world, there is a character that has an alias, Castor. And of course, here, one of the players' names is Castor. So there may be that confusion again later on down the line, just so everyone knows. Snot me! Yeah, you're not a snot-nosed elven brat. No worries.
Freeze for no reason.
Drow brat. Oh, that's a little bit of the scrap coming out of Arudim.
Anyway,
but yes, you can say, listen, before I understand this, listen, it's really kind of us going out of our way to ask this mission, right? Be firm. They need you to rescue... I said they, you don't know who they is. They is an Archmage. They are an Archmage of Morben. And their child was kidnapped and taken to the Nine Hells. And in this way, let out an audible gasp amongst many of the Gallataur. Yeah, I know, right? Why would you take a kid there? That's the worst field trip ever. but they need you to go there with select other heroes, of course, and a guide, and they're gonna take you through astral projection and all that. He's like scratching his head, like sweating bullets at this point. Is this elf? And I am so big mood with this elf. Not elf, dragonborn. Low-key, I love this guy. So, like, it's 9,000 platinum, right? It's Morbin currency, but I think that's, like, similar to Mindefall currency, Mindefallender, to the currency here in Mindefall. And, yeah, it's really a crazy journey, right? But, like, you once stood toe-to-toe with the ancient red dragon, and you've avenged the mythos, right? So is your title. So you'll be down, right? Like, any amount of you can come. Like, it doesn't just have to be one of you or the chief, you know? Any of you who are up to the task, like, come on. At this point, you notice Nali kind of looking over at you, Krantor. Like, he is visibly cringing. Like, can you shut this kid up, man? It's just...
Just stone-faced, no emotion. When he stops, finally, I just returned to my people after a long and painful absence. Many planes, and endured many annoyances to get back here. One of which was a demigod. He was insufferable.
And a bitch.
And a bitch.
And a cunt.
Coming out of the void with that one.
Scrap. He's a fuck.
Solomon says, indeed. I am in no rush to leave my people. Money does not matter to us.
Oh, we also offer you a ring of fire resistance.
He doesn't hand out his armor, this gold dragon scale.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. Well, oh man, they told me you definitely say yes. How
do they know me?
And he looks up. You're right. How would they know you? And he's hands in his side of his head, like almost up, like he's mind blown. I can't believe this. And he starts kind of like slowly pacing back and forth, like, oh my god, what do I do now? What do I do?
You get us from the least.
You see Nessus now stands up, and he's like, I will gladly brave your journey, sir.
Hold his hand at Nessus. I did not ask you to speak.
I do not require your permission to speak.
As chief, you do. I believe.
Absolus speaks of it. Nessus, you are out of place. Sit down. And Sir Nessus slowly does.
Yeah. He'll just say friend and look to the Dragonborn. We are about to have a feast, celebrating my return, as I have just returned mere moments ago.
It really has been like 10 minutes.
5 minutes.
It's like, it really has been like 5 minutes! The tribe said the chief said 5.
Lord of time. But yes, you are welcome to join us with this and tell me more of this adventure, and maybe we can together find a reason why I will go instead of and abandon my people yet again for the third time in so short of a set.
You would not be abandoning your people, you know? You're just being a hero for somebody other than them.
People need me. We have been decimated by an ancient red dragon and a demigod, 2 demigods actually. And through poor leadership, it would be a large ask to have me leave them at this crucial stage. Understand, but in the meantime, join us as my special guest for this feast.
Sure, man, sure. I can dig me some food. And so he sits down and has a meal with you.
And while he's getting some food and like making himself settled in, he's going to try and find Shariklo, try to escape and find what she's on about. Can I do so stealthily? As stealthily as a giant Gallataur can?
Giant Gallataur, who's the center of attention in his tribe. With disadvantage, you may roll a stealth check.
Do so. Yeah, okay. It's a 12.
Oh yeah, you fumble about. And some of the children are already saying, "Oh, hello, Chief, hello," as you're passing them by. And some of them have now.
The shush.
Some of them were getting up to run to you, but they stopped as soon as you shushed. That okay. You just kind of like sat back down disappointedly.
I'm not an asshole. I just have to do something.
Yeah, and so you make it over by Shariklo, at this point gathering the majority of the tribe's attention in some way, shape, or form as you've done so. Yeah, so you approach Shariklo, who's sitting down, quietly enjoying her meal, and she kind of looks up to you as you, yes?
I would speak to you.
I don't think now is the time, she says, looking back down.
I understand. I knew when the time is right, because I might not be here much longer.
If that is the case, then it is probably best that you not know.
Her demeanor, it seemed it was imperative that I know.
I was under the impression that you were staying.
If this information would change my mind, one way or the other.
Let me ask you, do you truly believe in Therius? What was that?
Wait, I was saying he has betrayed our people and committed crimes, betrayed myself in the most heinous of manner, in our most sacred tradition. My very best companion, my best friend. I have known him my entire life. I believe that he is beyond redemption. Not he can be redeemed, he is still part of our tribe.
I see.
By how we treat those who are the worst of ourselves. That is on display when we treat him in such a way.
Then I will use my magic to communicate with you privately, if I need to. But for now, I have said all that I can say.
He'll nod solemnly and walk away.
He'll nod solemnly!
Right. Gotta love the tech issues.
You gotta make it happen. Hey, it wouldn't be the first session of a D&D game if there wasn't tech issues.
Right.
Hey.
But yes, okay, so is there anything else of note that you would like to take with Krantor? Because we have admittedly spent some time on him.
Yeah. He'll just kind of be among his people for a while and just do this feast. He'll be talking to the Bronze Dragonborn and listening to what he has to say. We're just going to streamline it and say that he decides to sleep on it and come back in the morning.
Alrighty. And the Dragonborn it decides to be patient about it, and you'll wake up in the morning to the Dragonborn actually playing with some of the Gallataur children, whom admittedly are not familiar with non-Gallataur creatures being this friendly. So it's a welcome change in the eye of the parents amongst the tribe, the parents and the caretakers, who seem pleasantly surprised by this outcome. Especially with as quick as it's been. Nalik has also done so to a lesser extent, but he's much more reserved. So, he is instead resigned to telling stories and such to some of the Gallataur tribe, the Gallataur members. In common, of course, the ones who can understand it. I said Gallataur members, Gallataur tribe.
Crantor will be very happy. He'll wake up actually satisfied and happy for the first time in years.
In years.
He's home. He's among his people. They're safe. He's in his quest. His first quest has been fulfilled. He is happy. And Cannon is gone, so that's also good.
Big mood, Tony.
It's so great because eventually there will be context to this campaign as to who the fuck you're talking about, and you'll be like, oh yeah, fuck that guy.
No, exclusionary humor is the best humor.
It's the equivalent of the abridged version going, yeah, Goku. He thinks he's Goku is what I think Canon has. He has a main character complex.
Oh, or Vegeta.
Ooh, you know what? Yeah, that's true. He comes up just about as short as he does.
You just called my brother out. You hear that, Steve? Fuck you.
Yeah, Steve? Yeah, dude. Fuck this character, dude. Dude, what asshole juice were you on? Jesus Christ. Did you filter it through the fucking local OSU fucking Alpha Beta Sigma frat house juices? What the fuck?
Oh my god, dude, I gotta clip this and send it to him. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
What the actual fuck did you make?
What he feels was a good character.
Thinks he's a Chad. He's about to get fucking clapped.
Oh man, if that was not the truth, nothing is. But, alas, so yes, you got your elf boy and your dragonborn boy playing with your Gallataurs.
Wave Nalik over.
And he'll approach.
This quest, adventure, whatever you call it, on this mission, when I've just found what I was looking for here with my people.
You see, I completely understand your reservations, being back with your people after being so far from them. But I once ended up in the Nine Hells inadvertently, and I was saved by none other than Carrick, that friend that I told you about, the one that I'm looking for. So, a part of me feels like going back to Avernus will make me find a connection back to him, even though he hired a team of vigilante to take him there initially. He's always had an interest in the lower planes in regards to knowing what he's dealing with should he ever deal with them. It is a concern in my mind. That being said, I wouldn't dare try and talk you into leaving your people, especially after the sentiments you were so clear to express last night and likely still this morning. So, I will leave
the
you
elders
with my thoughts that I definitely want to take this mission.
Off in the distance for a while. He's going to call out.
He's gonna call out?
For the Dragonborn. He didn't tell the names up.
Yeah. No, he did not. Yeah, he did not get it.
Krantor probably didn't ask. He doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Gallataur Chief. Avenger of the Mythos.
How old is this child who has been taken?
He is but a toddler. He's roughly 2 years of age, maybe a little younger.
You said we could bring as many as we wanted.
Yeah, yes, if you do have company that would like to come with you. However, it was said that a smaller team is considered best because of how organized and plotting the devils of the Nine Hells can be. A bigger group is easier to discover, essentially.
I worry about one of my people who has been found mostly in exile. I tried to fully welcome him back, and I worry he might not make it on his own. Are more important. Here you go. I must address my people.
Understood. And he steps back.
Does my tribe have like a herald or anything?
You know what? Yes,
All
we'll
about
say for the
things.
sake of it. Yeah, just.
Well, they'll say my people assemble.
Yes.
We're just all waiting outside my hut. Gallataur, the Mythos Plains. My absence is regrettable. Unfortunately, leave you again in the capable hands of your elders. He glares at them and puts his hand at them. I will return, and they will rule in my stead until such time as I return.
The elders nod in unison, and all of the Gallataur kneel as you finalize your statement.
I impress upon you. Hold true to honor. And to bring honor in everything you do. We are fewer in number than we should be, so we must hold ourselves to a higher standard. We must secure our position. We must evolve, we must change as we go forward. And hold true to honor. You're always in my hearts, all of you.
They all stand up, and many of them looking on longingly, as they've come to genuinely care about you, which is a full 180 from where they stood just months ago when you were the one exiled.
It's hard for him to leave. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, and many of the tribe are watching you on your way, so it probably makes it harder to part, as they all stand in one position and are seeing you off until you fade into the horizon, which is a very far distance for as plain as the Mythos plains are. It's redundant, but I'm saying
before he gets too far, he is going to, after the edge of the camp, he's going to hold up his axe and just do a guttural bull cry.
And you... That's awesome. And it will be met in a cacophony of roars from your tribe in return. You can hear the many different pitches of the many different aged Gallataur as you head off into the distance and begin a several week-long journey to the eastern coast of Mindafal, where you'll then take a week-long boat ride to the country of Morben. After an 8-day sail for Krantor, a 7-day sail for Cassius, and a 3-day sail for Arudim, you all eventually convene in the docks just outside the town of Troutburg in Morben, where you guys will be meeting all for the first time, as there is an extremely large carriage, one roughly fit for 10 people comfortably, is there to privately take you guys to the capital.
So Cassius isn't going to really react to that carriage because he doesn't feel like that's for him. He's just kind of, I'm assuming the Triton is still with him.
Yes, the Triton, all 3 of your escorts are with you. The Triton with you, the Elf with Arudim, and the Dragonborn with Krantor. So at this point, the 3 convene, and of course, their armors are all matching, and they all walk up to the carriage, and as they're getting into, well, come on, you bunch. This is our trip to the capital.
Well, that's for me. That doesn't seem right.
It's for the lot of you.
First time for everything,
He
I
just
guess.
stepped on board.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, follow the orc's lead.
All right. Cassie's looking to climb in.
Krantor will look at it skeptically, like, can this thing even hold me?
And Nalik is already inspecting it. It's like making sure, is this thing gonna be able to hold you? Just asked, hey, what's the max carrying capacity of this thing? Says the wood elf in the wood armor. I just realized the irony of this. Oh my god.
There we go.
How am I 2 hours into the first session before I'm realizing the irony of this? And so you guys, eventually all get up on the cart and you guys share the space. Krantor, you take about 2.5 people's worth of space in this. Luckily, 2 of the knights are driving, so that only leaves 1 with you, 3, and they're us. However, there is also the 4 of you. However, 2 orcs are also accompanying Arudim. I'm sorry, 1 human and 1 orc accompanying Arudim. So I suppose it's 6 people, with Krantor taking up 2.5 of space. So it's rather full in here, but not stuffed. And you guys will be traveling for 3 days, so if there's going to be any vamping you guys want to do, here's your chance.
Cassius is going to look over to the Gallataur. You're a big fella, ain't you?
He grunted and said yes.
Just
Not much for conversation, though.
Yeah, Nalik kind of tried to speak. Was trying to speak up on behalf of Krantor, but Krantor spoke for himself. So he's like, "Oh,
By all means, continue to do so.
yeah." Krantor here doesn't really chat much. It's not much of a talker. It's like being a tribal chief and all that.
Oh, tribal chief. Oh, I feel like I might be a bit out of place for this one. He's going to look over to the Triton. Is the Triton with him still?
No, the Triton is driving.
Okay.
It is the elf who is in the... Actually, no. It's the Dragonborn who's in the carriage with you guys.
So 10 over along sailing.
Oh, man.
So, just going out on a limb here, I'm assuming the y'all were summoned for an abduction of some kind?
I do not abduct people.
Not quite what I meant, but damn.
The human next to the skinny half-orc, Kobold's character to speak, who's like, yes, that's what we were summoned for. He insultingly sizes you up and down. He's like, and you were also selected for this task?
Who says that?
You're the human accompanying Arudim.
Oh, yeah.
Buck.
Now, Buck. There's no need.
Oh, all right.
Cassius is gonna look to the half-orc, and he's gonna be very calm and polite about it. Oh, it's no problem. I'm used to it.
Interesting.
To answer your question, yes, I was. By name, if you could believe it. Although, I'm having misgivings. Haven't quite accepted the mission. Told him I'd hear him out once I got more details. But we shall see.
What did they offer you?
Hefty sum of gold and some ring.
About the same.
Krantor does not speak.
It's like, oh, wait. Some ring? Oh, that's right, the fire resistance ring. And then Ali kind of just snickers and falls back into silence with Krantor.
Well, suppose we should get the introductions out of the way. Name's Cassius. And he just kind of nods his head a little bit.
Hating silence, Nalik will speak up. Well, I'm Nalik Irvar, former knight of Mindafal and now an acolyte of Heracles. And
Krantor, Avenger of the Mythos Plains, and a leader of the Gallataur Mythos. He doesn't know common well.
exactly, that's always my excuse whenever I don't words well. It's just poor common, or poor whatever language they're speaking.
Mindafel, you said. I passed through there a while back when I left me home.
Oh, really? I might venture to guess you're from Ragnrath?
Somewhere up there, yeah. A little backwater city known as Mo.
Oh, backwater city. Is the capital really that bad of that country? I know that they're not the most wealthy over there, but they do have their trinkets.
Yeah. At least the neck of the woods that I grew up in.
Understandable. Many big cities have a lot of variation to it. If you've ever been to Kaiser, Mindafal, you'd see there's a lot of different flavor to it, even though it's the land of the dragons, for example. That's essentially my homeland, but I'm an elf, so which aren't very common in Mindafal, but everywhere has its variety.
Yeah. Can't argue with you on that one. I'm living proof, as it were. He's going to turn to the human and the half-orc. Well, how about you?
Yes, we've heard nothing of you. Who are
Good,
you?
then that means I've been doing my job correctly.
Oh. Kind of catches every NPC's attention.
He just looks at them. More like, do you want me to elaborate? More like, I don't do social shit. What do you want from me?
Good eyes.
Well, if we're going to be working together, the least we could use is a name.
Arudim.
Now, see, that wasn't so hard, was it? You might be better at that than you thought.
He just kind of rolls his eyes. I forgot how humans are normally.
Not the first time that's happened.
Though I have to say I haven't had very many interactions with Tiefling.
To be perfectly honest, neither have I.
That seems to be a running theme with all of you.
Well, after a certain thing, I did meet an old man who kind of explained to me what I was. This devil blood, as it were. But beyond that, he didn't have much information for me.
Well, I find it very interesting. Says Nalik, the half-wood elf next to Krantor's. You're a tiefling being requested for a job to go to the Nine Hells. How does that make you feel?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I told the Triton lady, whom, now that I'm thinking of it, never did get a name. Does that make me an asshole? Both that and... well, I have my reasons. I can't stand abductions, as it were. I just can't.
I see. Well, I find a lot of irony in this whole situation. In regards to me and Krantor, we've essentially been to the antipode of the Nine Hells, Celestia. So, coupling that with the fact that you're a tiefling, and a tiefling of Zariel herself, that's what interests me most.
Cass just looks confused. He just... What do you mean of Zariel herself?
Nalik's eyes widen, and even the Dragonborn's eyes kind of like widen a little. It's like, wait, you don't get it? and Nalik speaks up. Excuse me. You mean to tell me that you don't know of the Archdevil themselves, Zariel? They run the first layer of hell. Avernus. The very layer that this mission is taking us to.
Well, I kind of pieced together that, the Archdevil's lair of hell, yada yada. But I'm more taken aback by the fact that you said that I was of Zariel herself. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
Zariel's blood runs within yours. I can tell by your horns, by your aura, that you, at some point, either I guess in your birth or early in your life, were cursed by Zariel. One reason or another.
I'm assuming Cassius is sitting somewhere near the side of the carriage. And if he's not, he's going to get up and walk toward the side of the carriage and try to poke his head out. Oi, you didn't tell me about that part!
They're saying, who are you saying that to? To the
Triton.
Yeah, she's in the driver's seat, so you kind of poke your head out the front window that allows for the driver to communicate with the passengers. And they're like, well, no. I was under the assumption that you would have known this.
That actually gets a small snicker out of the half-orc. Just a...
Cassius is not one for manners.
Nalik,
Arudim just... Fucking idiot.
Nalik has both of his hands in his palm at this point, like, oh, God.
Well, I guess that answers a lot of questions. But then again, it raises several more.
Don't jeopardize a mission if you go looking for answers.
Oh no, like I said, I have a certain problem when it comes to abductions. They don't sit well with me.
Should they sit well with anybody, especially when it's children? It's an underhanded tactic, and honestly, there's no fun in it.
On that, you and I would agree. But I can tell you right now, there was at least one Kitsune who thought it was alright. Well, was being the operative word.
There's more than one way to skin a fox.
You can say that again. He's going to return to his seat. He's been standing in the middle of the carriage pretty much.
Yeah, just Arudim's been so relaxed. Like he doesn't give off the cocky relax like people who put like their hands behind their head and they kick a feet up. No, he's just sitting like a proper individual, just like not really making a scene.
Nice.
And Krantor is definitely going to be sitting there just tense, waiting. He's very much bound up by anxiety, not like someone who's having a panic attack, but someone who's trying to stay on edge in case anything, being ready for anything in case it happens.
Can I roll an insight just to see if I can read that from him?
Absolutely. Is Krantor trying to hide this?
He's trying to be stoic, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I'll say roll a deception check.
I was about to say,
Sure.
God damn it! That D20 almost went off the table.
Dice tray, baby.
Damn right.
I don't got one of those yet.
It's funny.
People.
Ooh, wow. High.
Unnatural 20.
Oh,
well, there you go.
pop that in the chat for the
18
last.
deception.
Yep.
Yeah, 18 deception, but the fucking 20 insight, you will be able to discern that Krantor is indeed very pensive and is trying to remain alert.
And you're also going to get a little bit angry.
Like, I get a hint of that underlying, I'm always angry. That's the secret.
A hint of pure unbridled rage, yes.
Oh my gosh. Alright, yeah,
That's
so...
the secret. I'm always angry.
Alright, so if there's nothing other of note that anyone wants to communicate, then we'll do a 3-day time skip, as the time would have taken to travel across the country safely around Veos's journeyland, and through essentially what is what's the word I'm looking? Moor. Yeah. Which is just a great moor, a lot of untouched land, which is good to see because I feel like everybody at this point in their characters' lives would know that Moorben is fabled for its war-torn history. It's been in many civil wars, it's been in many national wars, and even international wars. It's usually the most battle-hardened country. Yes, finally you all will make it to, 1 second, I'm gonna find some new music while it's on the mind. Nah, too casual. Okay, that works.
Kobold kick!
Alrighty, so yes. You guys are now... You finally begin to approach the skyline of this city, which is made up of much stone architecture. And has, you can see several layers of walls, because each wall as it goes in deeper is higher off of the ground. And again, pure stone wall. with full doors scaling up the entirety of it that are slid open. They too are made of stone, so it's unknown how exactly they open and close. But you all approach and got a guard-ridden gate. There will be plentiful knights lining either side of the path as you lead up to the city. And you can see that there are many of, not basilisks,
Ballistae?
Yes. So you guys are led through the city, which you see almost all of the buildings in some way, shape, or form has a statue of a noble creature, or of a knight, an angel, or some sort of gladiator. And you see people seem to be like hastily moving through the city to the western side. You're able to discern a lot of people who are saying, "Oh no, we gotta get to the gladiator district." And it's a lot. It's a heavy, intense clash, and a lot of people just skittering by. Some even kind of obstructing the cars you're traveling in, which is really what leads you guys to catch wind of this whole situation. But eventually you make it through the city and up to the Capitol Hall, which is a 4-story lined building with plenty of columns draping on either side of the building. Yes. Somewhere there. So you guys filter. You were led up to the stairwell where you were finally able to exit the cart and make your way up the very long steps, so they're easy to climb up for our Gallataur party members.
Appreciate that.
You all will be led into this very refined building. Walking in, you'll see knights within it. Almost at every doorway is at least one knight. In a very heavily guarded location. And you are led through a few hallways down to a meeting room with an extremely long table in it. And normal sized chairs. You notice on both sides of the building, on both sides of the room are actually like long, you want to say like tubs of sorts, but you can see stools in them that are just below water level, almost as if for someone who would want to sit while soaking. And when you enter in, you see several members in very official looking garbs and suits, almost all some sort of some sort of sea folk. We have 2 tritons, 1 shark-like individual, and a sahagin, as they all are sitting in various spots around the table. And they look up and like, "Oh, these must be them. These must be them. And as they start kind of like skittering amongst each other, and then one of the tritons stands up and just, "Welcome. You all must be the heroes that have been called forth by our invisible hands, if you will."
I don't know, sending a Triton in the middle of a, populated desert city, not exactly what I would call invisible.
You see, it was all a matter of who was closest to what myth that may or may not have been told. See, they just so happened to have been passing through Zidgardi, it seemed. But yes.
Fair enough. Good for me.
We have quite a collection here. He's kind of scaling each of you down. He sees scaling up and down tiefling and a wood elf. Oh, I love the irony here with the wood.
Oh, so it's not just me. Okay, got it.
Then we are.
What is irony?
It was what a need.
That was out of character.
Yeah, I know.
That was too
And
good.
he starts scaling up. Now, half-orc. An orc and a human, are they your parents? It says, he says, kind of just like poking fun at you, Arudim.
He just doesn't even respond.
And he takes a seat. Oh, well, unfortunately, I'm not the one who's going to be handling the business directly. Archmage Fellhandle will be here in just a moment, and he'll be pleasantly surprised to see you all beat him here. He's usually not tardy like this, so it's all the more fun. Yes, he's always giving us such a hard time if we're not to the minute.
Arudim just, like, narrows his eyes.
Cassius does not respond.
Krantor is nonplussed.
I love that this is... Everyone is not happy about all of this. In one way or another, everyone just said,
This fucker.
I don't say shit 'cause mad.
No talk, we angry.
No, I don't know about those two, but you gotta cut the guy some slack. If what I've been told is true, the guy's kid got kidnapped, man.
You make a fair point.
And a few minutes pass.
I'm
guy
speaking
with
to
personality disorder over here.
Personality disorder.
For those of you who are watching, I know that's not how split personality disorder works.
Just don't worry, bro.
Fucking don't crucify me, Jesus Christ.
No one's coming for you.
Don't.
You're good. You good, my dude. I learned that the hard way to not be too concerned with what you say. You're not. What you say may not come off as offensive as you might think it does. And that.
Rip him to shreds, YouTube commenters.
Kobold squeaking.
They come for the ass.
No!
They stay for the memes.
They come for the ass. They stay for the memes. How I got my boyfriend 101.
I was gonna say, this wasn't
Same.
trying to call Jack out, but I mean, hey, bud.
Hey, hon.
I only got mine because of me.
Looks at camera, waves.
Hey.
You see, now we have an excuse to make him watch this episode for views.
Yes, I'm gonna fucking... somebody clip that so I can send this to him.
Yes,
Force him.
that'll be great.
Way to call him out over the internet.
So a few minutes pass, and finally, a human in long blue garbs and mid-length black hair, which is swept completely back. I don't want to say slicked back. You know, now I think of it. Season 2 Jesse Katsopoulos. That hairstyle on a mage. You can definitely see the age in his face, and you see one of his hands is shriveled up to the bone. It looks like it's like the life was sucked out of it.
Arudim notes to himself, neat.
Hello. It is nice to meet you all. My name is Miramore Fellhandle, an Archmage of Morbin. I've worked for the country for roughly 12 years now, but I've worked on my own projects for many decades before. I cannot thank you enough for you all being willing to do what you've agreed upon. You see him kind of starting to lose it a bit as he's like in
Sir,
terms of
with all due
composure.
respect, I'd like to ask if you have any information on the creatures that may have taken your child. Is there anything you know beyond that they took them to the plane of Avernus?
Yes, but I don't know. Yes and no. I know more, but I don't know who specifically took.
Did you identify the type of creature?
I assume devils, but indefinitely fiendish activity. You see, I research the Blood War for the majority of my life.
I see.
Yes, I've always felt it prevalent to the future of Rieba. Based on the increased fiendish activity on this plane, well, maybe you don't know. It's been a lot of activity in the shadows, but it has been much busier. See, it came to the attention of city officials that I was doing this, and I faced imprisonment at one point for the practice and study of dark magics. But it came to be true what I spoke. They believed me, and so the city reversed their accusations in favor of working with me in closer capacity to investigate the fiendish activity across Rieba. So I formed this group and had them enroll in the adventurer guilds, branching out to several larger countries as a way of keeping an eye on some of that fiendish activity without moving directly myself. And the most activity I found was in Mindafall. My daughter was born a tiefling, but this only fuels my beliefs and the determination of the city. And so we continued our investigations all the same, looking into the history of tieflings.
Arudim taking out a family tree in his brain, like, how the fuck? The fucketh?
And upon our exploration into the history of tieflings and the history of the Nine Hells, we learned that my daughter was a tiefling with Zariel's blood. Much like yourself, gesturing to you, Cassius.
Fucking Arudim just looks at you, looks at the guy, and goes, "That is coincidental."
Yes.
Coincident would be the right word, considering I never met this guy. I'm definitely not related to him. My family's human.
I am also human.
Suspicious squint.
Confused look.
Confusion?
Allow me to clear this up. Oi, mate. And he's gonna look to this archmage. To be perfectly honest, I have not agreed to take out this mission.
Oh.
I said I would travel here on the grounds of learning more.
Wow, get fucked. Wow, dude, get fucked.
I want to imagine that that's exactly what you said too. Wow,
if
dude,
he
get
says,
fucked.
"Nah, I don't want to do this," just immediately, wow, get fucked.
You've offered me a price of coin. But if there's one thing I've learned working in the underground of cities, it's that money has no power to those who know the right secrets. What I want is information.
I'm sorry, what was that last line I spoke?
What I want from you is information.
Information on what? The Nine Hells? I have that in plenty. The Blood War? In spades. Perhaps you're closer to it than you realize.
Absent-minded.
Motherfucker with his cryptic ass tongue. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do a quick roll just to see if Cassius realizes he's about to do this or not. He has no clue. Absent-mindedly, his hand begins to just kind of play with the pendant around his neck. Just a simple iron pendant. I want information regarding my sister. You can take that 9,000 platinum that you offered me, use it to get me that information.
Very well. I can agree to this. I can happily agree to this. If you're going to take this quest, and I will do so in your absence, I will vigorously research into this.
Allow me to tell you what I know. A few years ago, she was abducted. I've been looking for her ever since.
Is she your older or younger sister?
Elder.
Elder. Is she been involved in any nefarious activities that you have been aware of?
The most nefarious thing she ever got was knocking me upside the head when I wanted to join the city guard. She is as wholesome as they come.
I
Get
see.
fucking fucked, dude.
I see.
Fucking domed.
Well, I admit, I was not anticipating that being the circumstance. That being said, I can look into this. Where was she abducted? And approximately how long ago?
It was a few years ago when I left my home. She was the reason I left. I came home one day after training, and she was gone. The house was cold, and I found this. And he pulls a note, old beat-up leather parchment, and he just kind of tosses it onto the table. And it just says, "Debt is paid."
Oh, dear.
I will find your child. I will find your child if you find my sister. Do we have an accord?
With the brightest gleam in his eye, trying to hold back a tear, this human walks up to you and offers you a handshake.
And Cassius will take it.
And you feel him slightly shaking as his grip tightens, and he's like, "You have yourself a deal."
If I may.
Right then, with that out of the way. Oh my god, I'm in a noble's court. What the hell am I doing in a noble's court?
You hear in the background from one of the Tritons you've likely forgotten that were there. The Tritons, the Sahagin, and the Shark folk, they're all just sitting there. One of them just... It's like,
he's just kind of muttering to himself now. Pumpkin in the middle of... What am I doing here?
I mean, opposite of this,
Yeah.
they're just kind of muttering to themselves too. He's like, that was so great. He just had such a great. He just had such an intense moment, and then he just popped it. Oh, where am I? They're all just like snickering with each other.
Arudim's gonna step forward towards the wizard bro. It's wizard man.
Yeah. You do that. You'll hear a slight sploosh from the water as one of the Triton folk are now dipping into it, clothes and all. That's just happening in the background. Don't mind them. And
don't mind them. Says to the rogue.
I mind everything.
Exactly. That's the whole point of rogues. I mind everything. I roll perception. Oh, okay. Nat 20. You heard a fly break wind in Neverwinter.
In Neverwinter? But that was on the previous plane. Exactly.
Oh.
Dagger.
He wants to go to the wizard, specifically. He's gonna ask, so, you know a lot about magical things, as well as the infernal, I assume?
Indeed.
Do you have the ability to find, create, or otherwise obtain something that can perhaps store memories?
Yes, actually. I have access to high-powered scrying orbs that you can essentially record and retain up to 1 minute bits in 60 feet of all directions. It can be projected at a later time.
How much would it cost to make something that could record longer? Or perhaps even encapsulate the memories of somebody who is living?
That would honestly take some research. I couldn't say with confidence I could make it happen.
He just thinks for a moment. The gold will suffice if you can't provide that.
I can most definitely look into it. I anticipate you spending some time in the hills, and during that time, I can research what it is you all need from me.
Bucky,
Yes?
when we go into the Nine Hells, do me a favor and inform our employer of my plight.
Understood.
Wonderful. Dusts himself off and he just kind of stands ready to go. Also, thank you.
You're welcome.
That knife scene from Winter Soldier is a big inspiration for this fucker.
Winter Soldier is completely underrated.
It is he's so cool! He's so cool!
The raw gay energy that he has.
Bucky!
The Archmage will go, very well then. This afternoon, I will transfer you all via astral projection. Is it going to be all of you? Or only a select few of you? It seems that some of you are subservient to others? Pointing at Buck. Hey, who you calling a servant?
Bucky is my right-hand man, and he is to be in charge of my family while we are gone.
I apologize.
Make sure the twins don't kill each other, by the way.
Oh, you got it. Trust me. I'm gonna whip those kids into shape.
Good.
And Buck offers you like that good old forearm handshake.
Before he takes it, for those who are interested, Arudim takes off his gloves, and you will see like a black and purple vein like scar stretching all the way to his fingertips, like corrupted veins. He puts them in his pocket and he does the shake.
Yeah, now he's just slowly panning over, trying not to stare. Archmage's interested. Everyone else?
Archmage, curious!
Yeah, he's like,
All wizards, when they see some bullshit that they don't understand.
Just like,
Tell me more, did you get very far?
Ooh, what'd that do?
Is this power?
The Archmage was, alright, I will transfer you this afternoon via astral projection. My men will escort you to the teleportation circle in the lower domain. I will see you all shortly. And you four are escorted down along. Actually, I'm sorry. You all are escorted down alongside a fire genasi. Genasi.
Aridim's gonna walk up to to Cassius. That's his name, correct?
Yes.
He's gonna walk up to Cassius and says, "Well, considering the news you've had today, I don't envy you. So, how do you feel?"
Honestly, I feel pretty good considering for the first time in my life since she went missing, I've got a lead on the whereabouts of my sister.
That wasn't exactly what I was referring to, but I'll take it. Your mental state is very important for this job. What about you? And he looks to you, Krantor, completely, like, not intimidated whatsoever.
Krantor respects this, and he'll answer honestly. I'm loath to be away from my tribe. They are in trouble, and I worry how they will fare without my leadership. But this is the honorable thing to do.
Very good. I
Trails
respect that. That's the correct answer. As he looks to Bucky, in the way that's like, good job, Bucky, but at the same time, it's like, if you fuck up, your ass is dead. When I come back, if shit's in chaos, that's your ass plastered on my mantle.
If Krantor had more time, he would have probably done the same. More than literally 5 minutes.
Literally 5 minutes.
Hey, you had a night.
Poor bastard.
You stayed the night. And so you all are led down the hall and several floors to a large room full with a teleportation circle glyph spanning the entire floor.
Hell yeah.
And you all wait.
Knowledge Arcana. Is this actually a teleportation circle?
Yes.
Natural
Go ahead
one.
and roll a roll.
Natural one.
Yeah, you got a natural one. Oh,
Natural one, baby.
Hell.
I don't even.
Yes.
I'm not even trained in Arcana. I just fucking went for it.
You just went for it. You just looked at it. And you
I don't think I'm trained.
Looks
Hold on.
good
Am I
to
trained?
me.
No, I'm not even trained.
Who let a child draw all over this ancient room?
Crantor has no understanding of magic that's not about god shit, so...
Is it divine? No,
Am I
it's
like the only
arcane.
one that can
The fuck
read
is
this?
arcane? Is that a new kind of pizza flavor?
What'd you say,
Fuck's
Castor?
pizza.
Cassie's just looking at the two of them. Really, you guys can't. You don't know what this is, right? Because
Well, to be frank,
read those runes
I
this
lead
way.
an orc tribe. He looks at you like, do you think I've encountered something like this before? I raise
know
orcs,
that.
half-orcs, and humans.
No, you can
I barely speak common.
Yeah, literally, he just looks at him like, do you think I would encounter this kind of shit before? This is like the first legit job I've ever had. This is the Rocket. This is the Junkrat and Roadhog equivalent of the Going Legit comic.
Cassius just kind of looks at you incredulously, looks down at himself wearing just plain clothes, looks back at you. How am I the most educated one here?
What's education?
Gestures to himself again.
No, he's like,
Half-orc.
excuse me.
Again. Do you know how many institutions would have immediately decided not to accept me?
You're preaching to the choir on that one, mate.
Just looks at Nalik. What's an institution?
It's a big place where a bunch of nerds gather to learn things through books.
Oh.
Most of the time they have to pay people to do it, though.
Humans are insane.
See, I know. You know the average human is 22,000 gold in debt?
Jesus.
For reading books?
We don't even
You wanna
use
know the
gold.
theory?
This is
You
true.
want to know the crazy part? You want to know the crazy part? That debt thing only happens to people who have a certain degree of money. No, see, I was smart. We didn't have any money to begin with. They didn't care.
That sounds smart to me.
Cheated the system. Gotta give it to him.
You can't lose what you don't have.
What I didn't understand is why people just didn't copy the books before they returned them.
Why do people return the books?
Kind of helps if you can't read.
Why would you copy them? That's cheating.
It's not cheating if you paid for the book.
But if you paid
Nalik,
for it, why are you
explain.
returning it? Yes, the chicanery is interrupted when the Archmage finally walks in. He's like, all right, I've been convinced that I need to try and scare you all out of this one last time. So you all know that one of Morbin's greatest factions attempted this very task last week and perished horribly, correct?
What was their name?
Indomitable.
Never heard of them, so it doesn't matter.
I've been to the plains before. It's fine.
Quite.
It's not so bad.
Oh, you have? What planes have you been to, boy? Says the Archmage, the human who's likely not as old as you.
Let's see. There's
Boy.
Carcery. There was a few other hells.
The Abyss.
Celestia. The Abyss. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you have
got
traversed
back.
quite your fair share of planes.
Yes, I just got back after reaching the peak of Mount Celestia. So,
You
just blinks.
You can't be serious! The peak of Celestia, and you came back!
I had things to do. My tribe needed me.
Just Arudim just looks at him like, holy shit, this dude's dedicated. That actually gets a nod of respect, like, nice. It's like
So
it's
return
kind of
the
that nice when two people in the modern day see 69 and they just go nice,
Nice.
simultaneously. It's that respect.
Cassius walks over to Krantor, and with all the respect that he can muster, from one person chasing his family to one who just went back home to his, I understand. Let's get you back home to your family as soon as possible, yeah?
Crantor will nod at that and say, first we must reconnect.
The first layer of hell won't know what hit it.
I like all of your attitudes. It is so very comforting to know.
Well, when you've died multiple times and still lived, you tend to be confident.
Oh, you have been reincarnated.
He shows his shoulder pauldron, which has 8 tally marks on it.
Oh my. It is very rare when someone is blessed with reincarnation. Have you remained a half-orc through each of your lives?
Nope, different every time.
Were you born as an infant?
I don't remember.
Oh. Is it possible that you didn't immediately recall your past lives?
It took time, practice. Each time it took a little bit more
Do you recall?
effort, but
I'm sorry, continue on. I'm so sorry.
it's fine. It helps when I can commune with a soul. Any soul, actually. It's more like I use them as a kind of a conduit to the past lives that are within me.
It is very strange because I have done research, and there have been times in the past where a form of pseudo-immortality has been gifted or cursed, depending on the perspective, from a god to a disciple or an acolyte of theirs, where they will reincarnate as themselves in each of their next lives. But from the sounds of it, your situation is different. It sounds more akin to the actual true reincarnation spell. But no one...
Perhaps, but I found my loyalties.
Oh?
He actually pushes his pauldron out of the way, and he would see the symbol of Kalimvor.
Shit. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you know what? When you all return, we should all have a chat. I have grown deeply interested in you all.
Talk to me when you've stared into the weave and it talks back.
That sounds wonderful.
Talk to me when you punch a demigod in the face.
I like you. Just immediately, Arudim points to Krantor. I like you.
He's pretty
I
I
good.
think we're going to get along just fine.
No, he's sitting over there like, oh no, I'm gonna be replaced.
Oh no! No.
I'm not the chief of, I'm not the chief of my own tribe.
Not yet.
I want to be a cool kid.
You are a cool kid. You're my squire.
Shut on him!
I don't know.
You
if
got
that's top of my
swifty,
range,
dude.
But it's still funny.
Deadpan. Just, yes, you are my squire. He thinks it's a great compliment.
Beautiful.
Actual Screech. Man.
Mr. Archmage, if I may. One question before we go. Not that the answer matters, but just for my own curiosity. Am I here because of my legacy, or am I here because of my history? It's clear why you hired the other two. The deeds speak for themselves. I have no such deeds to speak of,
Yes.
save for one. But is that really why I'm here?
Yes, it is in fact why you are here. You put down a human trafficking rig. We heard of your name, not your heritage, lad. I assure you that is coincidence, and a very happy one at that, mind you. I feel like this can work to our benefit. But I had you sought out because you brought down a group specifically meant to kidnap innocent people and traffic them. In very much the manner I suspect is happening with my own child on the outer planes. So yes, you were sought out for your deeds, and while you seem to be undermining them, I feel like they cannot be overstated enough. He's like jabbing you in his finger, like almost grandfather-like. I'm telling you off, but in a good way.
Or a granddad, I'll believe in myself some more. I'll go ask her prom.
Fuck up, youngster. We've got a lot to do.
Just, again, it was for my own curiosity, not that the answer mattered.
No, I think it very much matters, okay.
This whole reconnecting with my heritage thing is... It's all a bit new to me. Although, oddly not. and he just kind of knowingly looks down at the floor. He doesn't elaborate much on that.
There's not much that matters more than heritage and family.
Archmage Miramore puts his hand on your shoulder and kind of like lowers his head so he's in your line of sight. Listen, lad. I am confident that we're going to be associated much more after this is all said and done. And it'll be for the better, for your good. Double pass you on the shoulder. Now, look up.
Well, lads, we all have goals that we want to accomplish by getting this done. Let's not waste any more time, shall we?
Agreed.
Yes. One more thing. And he opens up his palm, and he holds 4 rings with glowing orange engravings on the outer bands of it in shape of flames. He said, here, these are all rings of fire resistance. If for some reason you are already being provided with resistance to fire, it will turn that resistance into immunity. Nalik immediately waves it off. No thank you, my armor is already immune. Says the wood elf with the
grab
one
that shiny ring right there.
Just like, ooh, gimme.
Don't mind if I do. These are now yours to keep, even beyond this commission, pass or fail.
If we fail, we're most likely dead, so...
Yes,
thank you.
but I understand the possibility of you having no choice but to flee with your lives. I dare not say that you entirely throw your lives away, but I do understand that, yes,
That's
it's
an
most
option.
likely death before escape.
Arudim just, that's an option.
It's an option.
To quote Bart Simpson, I'm prepared to make that sacrifice, but what if you die? I'm prepared to make that sacrifice, but what if you don't want to know how far I'll go?
That's great. And so he says, all right, everyone, if you are all ready, let us link hands.
Cassius will reach out his hands.
Krantor will open up his meaty paws.
Meaty paw, big meaty paws.
Yes, this 7'8" long, 2-ton Chad. With his baseball
Castor's dainty little purple hand, it will rest upon his palm.
Is there the fucker?
Charming.
There will be a carry moment, don't you worry.
And the last thing. And finally, you all see silver cords extend from your bodies as all that's around you becomes black and gray, featureless, with distant-looking stars and fog around you. Bits of silver floating water as you start to drift in this empty void. You notice behind you is a giant silvery pool floating in this empty space that very much resembles what you were just seeing on the material plane. And you all begin to move forward, still linked to the hands with Archmage Miramore, and he tells you all, do stick with me. If we were in court to encounter an astral storm, it would be the end of us all. And that's where we'll end the session.
Yo.
Oh my god! I can breathe.
One more thing.
Oh my god, guys, I've been working nonstop on this since 10 a.m. this morning. And that's just today. I took off work today. Yesterday I was sitting there,
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna be ready in time. I need off work, and I literally ran through the schedule and rearranged several people's positions so my shift could get covered, so I could be home all day drawing and writing. Yes, everyone's character arc got finished today, approximately 2.5 hours before the session started. I unfortunately wanted to get a group picture of them together, but I wasn't able to figure out cropping right without wasting a bunch of time, so I instead made the title picture that you guys see in like 30 minutes.
Woo!
I'm sure that shows.
Actually
Yay! Confetti!
So, I just want to point out a simple little ironic parody with the whole Cassius not understanding his Zariel bloodline.
Yeah.
When I first pitched this character to Advy, his reaction was priceless.
Oh.
He was like, I am so happy that it was Zariel of all the tiefling kinds. He was so happy about it.
It just fell into place.
All according to Kaikeku.
It's something I should remind Krantor of, because he knows this, but it's been a long time since he caught this detail. That blood-stained red cloak that Canon wore, he mentioned was a gift from Zariel.
Yes,
so
I do
Zariel's
remember
there
that
with
and had that
Canon?
in my notes.
Well, she's gotta die.
That was everybody at once. I'm sorry. One at a time, Krantor. I'm sorry.
I was saying, yes, I absolutely totally had that in my notes, and I'm just writing it down now.
That's great. It was mentioned a few solo sessions back. I think we should get in some plugs for everybody, and they can go to sleep.
Yes.
All right, so let's start. I'm gonna start on my right to the left. That means we're starting with Kobold.
God damn it, I don't fucking do anything.
But you stream
I'm
sometimes.
horny on Twitter. If I'm horny on
Yes.
Twitter, that's pretty much it.
Yes.
You like Gaius?
Twitter.com/FriendlyKobold at FriendlyKobold on Twitter. I just do horny shit and occasionally post things about like games or card games.
He and I had a nice discussion about who is who in the relationship between Cinderace and Lucario.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty, Castor.
Anyway, moving on. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Castor, where can they
I'll
find you?
fight you, motherfucker.
You're not sorry.
No, I'm not. I'll fight you. I will fucking fight you to the death with a gun and a fist and a knife and some plastic fucking syringe bottles. Let's fucking go.
Before the horn, he drowns out Castor. Castor, where can they find you, bud?
You kidding me? I'm swimming in it.
Hashtag free me. Said in the Discord, buddy. Oh man, if this wasn't a private call, I'd be linking it in the chat so people could watch it and shit.
All right. You can find me on Twitch whenever I feel like streaming. I don't really have a set schedule at Castor Gaming. I'm usually on Twitter screaming my head off about something or another. If I'm not horny posting, then I'm angry posting.
Oh, so similar.
The true dichotomy of man right there.
I knew y'all would get along.
If we ain't horny, we're angry, and sometimes we're both.
Oh no.
And, well, I can't hungry post because, well, I don't have food because food's expensive.
R/food porn, best place. Arguably better than actual porn.
Oh my god. Alrighty.
I have something for this.
Also, for those of you watching in the future, this is the day that Sephiroth got revealed, and I'm cooming right now. Right in front of my salad. Right in front of my salad.
And Astro, well, what about you, lad? How's that Twitter situation for you?
Yeah, I'm still screaming at Twitter to get them to restore my account because they removed me with no explanation. I just got my Facebook back, so that's fun. So right now, the only thing I have to plug is my website, hereticaloracles.com, where you can find fun astrology when I feel like writing it, and angry about other astrologers and just ranting about space rocks and such.
It's good shit, man. It really is. Check it out.
Absolutely.
There's actually a lot of inspiration for Krantor's backstory that comes from stuff like that, like the names and the personalities of some of the characters in this tribe.
Absolutely. Krantor is one of the centaurs in the Trans-Neptunian ones. Well, their main belt. But yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, yeah, and I guess me as I actually do a lot of things. I do streams Sunday mornings here on TRG Network, twitch.tv/TRG Network. Do GTA Vice City streams that are consolidated into YouTube episodes. Then, like, right after that, for some reason, because I hate my life, I do an art stream on my own Twitch channel, Advy Deven, for 5 hours. every Sunday, usually with my friend Willie O. Art. He is like my artist partner. And what else do we do? Obviously, there's going to be this campaign on Thursday nights here on twitch.tv for, I don't need to say it again. And it'll be uploaded on YouTube either Mondays or Wednesdays. We have not decided yet. Probably Mondays, but I'll see how editing it goes. Because I will be chopping out some of the dead air for the sake of it being a shorter video to watch. But yeah, that's pretty... Oh, well, TRG, actually, never mind. Smash streams on Saturdays on YouTube at TRG Network. There we do Smash Bros. Ultimate. We do an arena on there. Kobold, get your ass in there. We were trying to get you in there. I literally held up the stream for like 3 whole minutes. I'm like, no, he's gonna get in this.
Sorry. Look, shit happened. It was the worst timing ever.
That's right. You invited me for that too, didn't you?
I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do this.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't die. I'm pretty sure it's Rona, but I hopefully won't die.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean,
So when do you do those Smash streams, by the way?
Saturday nights, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. They usually run for about 2 hours.
Because I know you invited me to the last one, and I got distracted by Xenoblade 2 and completely spaced it.
No worries.
What do you mean, motherfucker? I'm curious. What kind of people am I sitting here with?
Don't everybody go at once.
I was about to say, like, well, okay then, motherfuckers.
Sitting here with us here, I am very socially awkward. Just this nerdy goofball.
Motherfucker, top 3 Bayonetta, Ganondorf, Pokemon.
Oh, you're talking about
next?
Smash mains. Oh my god, I completely misunderstood.
I thought you said meme. I'm like, which meme?
No, fucker. We're just talking about Smash Brothers. No.
I got distracted putting up the Discord link. But yes, I main Marth. Even though I don't play him a lot, I've recently picked up. I used to not play many characters at all, but I always would stick to my Marth or Lucina. But then I branched out. I did some Dark Pit. I started loving on some Incineroar. I fuck around with Lucario. Lucario was actually my main for a while.
Goodbye.
His up B just really fucks me over sometimes if I don't have a good analog stick or get too caught up in the game. And so then there's Captain Falcon, who I avoided forever, but eventually grew onto and tried and loved. Then Pikachu I went back to because I played a little bit of him in Melee. Pikachu's really fun in Ultimate.
He was so broke in Smash 64, and I loved it.
He's so broken now. Are you kidding me? They buffed him more.
Why?
Wait, more than Smash 64?
Yeah, in Ultimate he's
Are you kidding?
pretty gross.
Bro, have you not played since Smash 64?
Bro, in Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, he's pretty hurt. He's pretty painful.
Ultimate, he's the best character in the game right now.
Don't let me catch you in the air, dude.
Down, Pikachu's the best.
Just don't let me catch you in the air.
I have not played since Byleth got announced. It's been a while.
Okay, so y'all, we don't talk about Min. Nobody
Dude,
talks about Min.
Minecraft Steve is in the game now.
We talk about Minecraft Steve. He's one of my top 5 now, motherfucker.
Dude, there's somebody on the Dude, there's somebody on the TRG Discord who's joking about being a Steve main when the character was first coming out, and within weeks he's actually his Steve main and his icon now. Shout out Native. Dude always commits to the bits and chat and shit. He's usually the funniest dude.
When you can get killed early in so many ways by Minecraft Steve, it's just, it's a whole new world.
It's one of those, just set the controller down and let it happen.
It's not about spikes anymore. It's not about winning. It's about sending a message. Is that you mean nothing to Minecraft Steve.
Is that you mean nothing to Minecraft.
It's those soulless eyes.
Motherfucker, he blings out the villains and heroes. He don't care.
Okay, so I think we're gonna be calling it tonight, guys. Thank y'all for watching, and bye, y'all.